What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a great one today. We've got the SCX6 wrecker ready for paint, and it is just too big to show you from the hobby room. Just get those wonderful toys. Don't worry, guys, Rambo won't hurt you. We're kind of out of our element here today. We are out in a different room because our project is just too big for the hobby room. This thing is crazy, guys. I am really happy with the turnout. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. It is just, it's crazy, right? So there were a couple goals of this project when I started it. First and foremost, this is just a body. This entire apparatus sits on top of a regular SCX chassis with 4 M8 bolts that have a mounting system that is super, super strong. And I wanted to be able to take this body off and move it from chassis to chassis and not have anything that was permanent to a chassis. So once your chassis wears out, you don't want to give up this magnificent body. I guess it is a body. It's almost part of the chassis. Guys, this is a metal hard body. This is all a metal composite, and it is super strong. You guys have seen my videos in the past showing how strong this material is. It is no joke, and that's why we can build a giant wrecker and crane out of this material. So let's take a look around it, and let me show you just what we've got going on here. So everything was built around this winch, and yes, I get it. This isn't a winch. However, I've been experimenting with planetary transmissions, and you guys know I really like the TRX4 axe speed transmission. Along with some planetaries, we had a really good result with our tractor. So I ended up building this into a winch. This has a 80-to-1 gear ratio. It is super low powered, and it is powered by our Holmes Hobby motor over there. We built this drive shaft right here that's got kind of a metal barrier on it, so we don't want to get our winch line into our gear system right there. We've got it spinning outside right here, so it's all easy to take apart, guys. Everything I build is hobby grade and can be replaced and repaired. So we've got our line that goes right out here, and everything is, all the pressure is on this side, where all the pressure is on this side of this loop. And this arm moves forward and backwards depending on the geometry that you want for your situation. The arm also comes up and the legs drop all by your remote. The only thing that has to be operated manually is this crane. It's because there's a lot of weight and a lot of leverage in this. This is basically a 6-foot arm. So there's not really a servo out there that would be able to move this with confidence. So also, I don't think that I can actually get this outside of my house without manually pulling this up so I can make the turns down the hall. So I know that's kind of crazy to think. So over here, we've got our battery box, and you can pull this battery box off. It's held in by friction. But it is in there pretty sturdy, as you can see. And there we have our factory battery box. So you just line up your 2 batteries and put it back together. And your batteries are safe, sealed, and in a protective case. If there's a fire, you're inside of a metal case there. So we've got a giant 1/5 scale servo that moves the entire arm because that's where most of the weight is, and small servos that can operate this. Now, Radioactive, is this little servo going to be able to move this giant arm? Well, you're going to see it's engineered as such. it's counterbalanced, guys. Once you get this arm up in the air, it's almost buoyant. So this servo is actually not putting in a tremendous amount of effort. And once it's locked into place, there is a little room in there so that you're not under constant pressure. You can find that medium where the servo is under no pressure at all and rest everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the heck is this arm going to be able to tow something like an SCX6 over maybe a mile back in the bush or the jungle, wherever your radio-controlled car mind takes you that day? How is it going to do that? Well, it's certainly not going to do that with the help of these servos. We're going to use geometry and mechanics to make all this possible, and I'm going to show you. How. This little servo over here actually pulls up the legs, and it does a really good job. It has to have slack in there. It cannot be a solid bar like this because of the way it is designed. So we've got our ESC right over here, and this guy is operating our winch completely separate. We also have a toolbox right here, which is really, really cool. I'm excited about that. That's where our drag chain is going to be. And again, we just got it fastened down with 4 bolts. As you can see right there, we've got to install the steering wheel yet, but we've got our gear shift, and we got a baseball bat because this SCX6 is running in some bad neighborhoods, so you just never know. And we've got a windshield in there. Really cool, guys. We got some lights. So now that we've kind of seen everything, we got a spare tire and a hitch. I mean, it does have 3 sets of springs in that rear end. So this is not your stock suspension. It is actually really heavy duty, and it is made to handle this kind of weight. So, all right, let's get it all set up, and let's see what it can do before we get it off to paint. All right, guys, we got it all set up. We got it all turned on. Both the winch and the SCX6 are on. So let's play around with it a little bit and see what it can do. So we've got our arm that can go back and forth, and only moves about 2 inches, but that 2 inches can change a lot of geometry and a lot of weight. And it gives us a couple options when we're towing something big on this side. We need a little bit of extra room to clear the back of the truck. We can just move our boom out just a little bit. But typically you're going to keep it close to the cab because that's where the best geometry is. So secondly, we've got our arm. As you can see, it's getting ready to pick up right there. And we get all the way up and drop our legs. And you see how it just wedges right in there, guys? All right, let's see that again. All right, we're gonna pick it up, pick up our legs, and we're gonna put the arm down. And there, the servo is in a resting manner. As you can see, there's no tension. You can wiggle this around. So we're going to pick it back up and drop the legs and gently wedge it down there. And what we do is we find that happy medium where the servo is relieved of pressure, but all the pressure now rests on this joint right here, which is strong enough to pick up the whole truck, so, and then some. So it's actually overbuilt. So let's take a look at this winch operation. All right. Let's get a good picture of that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let a little bit out. I'm going to start the winch up. However, you got to keep tension on it. Otherwise, you'll end up in a tangled mess. So we're going to keep it going. and stop it. Okay, so we got the winch out here. The cool thing about this, guys, is you can actually winch from the front. When you put this arm completely down, you can actually winch from this portion right here, or you flip it all the way over, or you can take this rope that disconnects right there, so you can easily run it through these eyelets, and it comes out right here, so you've got plenty of room for your rope to clear if you've got swinging debris or anything right there. So, all right, let's bring our winch up. And we're moving it up real slow, just a little slow and steady. All right. And we come to our neutral on our ESC. So this is really something cool, guys. We can take this whole arm and it locks in place right here. And now you have the crane right up here. And how cool is that, guys? You've got a crane coming off of your SCX6, and all of this is detached from the actual chassis. This whole thing can be worked by remote. The only thing that can't is this portion right here that I'm operating, and it rests right there on a bolt. Notice how the geometry is even, so you're carrying the load evenly. And let's get our boom back in the right position here. We're going to pull it up, pull our legs up, and there we are in that neutral position. So we've got a couple different options. We can be in the middle, and it does get a little hung up a little bit, but once we get the final build together, we're going to put a little bit of grease in there, and I think it'll be a lot smoother, and I think it'll be a really cool build. I'm really excited about this, guys. This is pretty cool. I'm excited to share this with everybody at Beat the Creek, and it's going to debut in about 2 weeks there in Kentucky. So I'm really excited about this, and we are now off to paint with our second project turned out this month. Just very, very excited, guys, about what the RC world is bringing, and I am just really grateful and thankful that I'm able to get this creativity out of my head and build these RCs that I've never seen built. So if you guys have seen anything built like this on an SCX6 chassis, comment down below. I'd love to hear about it. All right, until the next one, we will see you radio heads later.